What's going on, boys and ghouls? I got another cigar review today. I got the Montesino Robusto cigar. It's relatively unimpressive. It's made by Arturo Fuente Cigars. Here's what it looks like. And now comes the interesting part. Alright, let's pop a smoke and see how this pans out. First impressions of this cigar, it's very, very bitter. Kind of more on a malty kind of side of flavor. And it just has this very extreme level of robust bitterness to it. Akin to like a very, very malty beer. And I'm also detecting some black walnut notes as well. And if there's one thing I like about Montesino cigars, it's the fact that they are, in a matter of speaking, very smooth as you smoke it. Like, it's not really an abrasive smoke. At least to me, it could be abrasive to you, because considering that different people have different smoking preferences and such. But to me, it's very smooth. And it has a really interesting flavor profile. I detect some cocoa, like the chocolate cocoa, and a hint of cinnamon for the aftertaste. It's pretty interesting. But overall, the main flavor intensity profile that I'm getting is it's a very robust and bitter tasting cigar. This is definitely one of the more bitter smokes that I've had in my smoking provenance. Okay, I detected a bit of oiliness in there as well. That's interesting. Overall, the cigar is proving to be a very robust and almost overwhelmingly bitter cigar for my comfort. The flavor profile is okay per se, but I'm not too crazy about this intense bitterness from the cigar. Okay, now it's burning pretty consistently. And this is a good sign that it's burning very evenly in consistency. It means that the methods of humidifying it are working. I've been using these special humidifier bags that you can buy at like certain smoke shops and stuff. And they actually are working wonders. Very rarely do I get a cigar that canoes on me, but sometimes it still happens. And I'm blaming the construction of the cigar for that. Because I'm pretty good at making sure my cigars are well humidified. Interesting. I also detected some leathery notes in it as well. Very interesting cigar for only $6. The only downside is it has an extreme level of bitterness as you smoke it. However, the draw itself is very smooth, so that's a plus side. Would I get the Montesino Robusto cigar in the future? Maybe. I mean, for a $6 cigar, I can't complain. It's a lot better than most $6 packs of cigarettes you can buy, that's for sure. Oh. It's definitely a very interesting, if not complex, cigar. It's definitely an interesting smoking experience, to be certain. I definitely do appreciate the chocolatey and the leathery kind of notes that I'm getting from this cigar. I really do like that. It kind of reminds me of a more bitter version of like a Partaga cigar that I like to smoke here and there as well. Problem this is cigars of that variety, the Partagas, are pretty hard to find. And when I do find them, I only usually see five of them at most. So they're a pretty popular brand of cigars. And because of the fact of their popularity, I've been compensating that with another favorite brand of mine, the Asylum 13 cigars. I stopped by at one of my local liquor stores that sells them and bought all of their Pandemonium cigars. There was only 12 left, right? They weren't cheap. They were, for all 12 of them, I paid like $2.10 for all of them. So $2.10 divided by 12, that's about $17.50 something. So they weren't cheap, but after saving up some cash and such, I couldn't say no, and I was running low of cigars at the time, so, you know, duty calls. I'm getting kind of a subtle numbing sensation on my tongue. Could it be cloves? Hard to say. Because with cloves, it tends to really numb your tongue and throat. But I had just a very, very minor numbness. Could be just tongue bite from the tobacco and the robustness of it, since it is a Robusto, but who knows. It's definitely one of my favorite more budget brand cigars. It is definitely very bitter for the first like half of it, but after a while you do detect the more intricacies of the cigar composition, which I do appreciate a lot. If I was to rate the Montesino Robusto cigar that I'm smoking, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5. It does have some very, very minor flaws with it, especially with like the intense bitterness as you initially smoke it. But after a while, it kind of mellows out a little bit. It's still there, but as you progress through the cigar, you detect all the other more intricate flavors and the more specific flavors, if you will, like the chocolate notes, the leathery notes, the oiliness, and along with a good plethora of the more sweet spices, you know, cinnamon, nutmeg, stuff like that, cloves. But I can assure you that this is definitely not a clove cigar. After smoking the real deal clove cigarettes about a couple years back, I think it was in 2019, I can assure you this cigar definitely doesn't have legit cloves infused into it. I can tell you that right now. But that would make it really interesting and nice if it did. But I'd probably have to hit up Indonesia for that, so, you know. Tasted a bit of a really nice dark woodiness right there. And it also has a very good amount of like a espresso coffee, like an Americano kind of flavor profile as you smoke it. So it's definitely a more stronger cigar. So if you have like a good water or some kind of soda to wash down all those intense flavors, do it. You'll need it. But other than that, this cigar is pretty phenomenal. And the flavors have remained relatively consistent as I've been smoking it, along with some unique hits of different kinds of flavors. I think I described it pretty eloquently enough for all of y'all. I'm going to go finish this cigar on my leisure. You just watched my amazing review of the Montesino Robusto cigar. And as always, stay tuned for more smoking reviews and such. Rock and roll, and thank you for watching.